Hello everyone, it's Moonkin FTW back again with another Nanocoaster build. In case you don't know what a Nanocoaster is, it's basically a very small model of real roller coasters that exist that you build yourself. I fell in love with this when I first discovered it, and I already made Kraken, Cyclone, which is the original Cyclone, the one that had a nurse at the station that was so dangerous and so heavy on the guests. And I bought another one. This is another variation of Cyclone. This one is a little bit more tame, if you will. And today we're going to build it. Now this is one of the older Nanocoaster models, meaning that it doesn't come pre-cut. So you have to cut out all these metal pieces that are the track yourself, which is a bit of a hassle. So I'm using some nail clippers and my Dremel tool for this. But it's a bit of a hassle because you have to cut out all these individual pieces, and sometimes they don't cut out very well. And then that's also another reason why I have my Dremel tool there, because you're able to shave off the excess metal, like those little things that where they were connected to that metal plate. So that's a lot. Actually, it's most of the work that you have to do when it comes to building one of these older Nanocoasters. In my video where I made Kraken, which is a slightly newer variation, they come pre-cut. So you don't have to do any of that. You can just instantly put them on a little plateau. So that's really nice. I still shave off the little metal because they do come pre-cut and there's still a little bit of metal there. So that you have to do, but it's a lot less of a hassle. But you know what? It's okay. It's kind of calming and therapeutic, if you will. I know that maybe might sound stupid, but life these days for me is very busy. I have a very stressful job, I guess, with a lot of responsibility. I have a kid, and so it's a lot of work. Anyway, enough of that. So we are building the Nanocoaster right now. I've got all the pieces cut out, and with my Dremel tool, I've kind of sanded down all the excess metal, or at least to the best of my ability. So now we can start building it. And building it is actually not that difficult. All you really need to do is line up the pieces of track with the plateau according to the instructions, and the instructions are quite simple. So it just says, place this first metal piece here, then this metal piece there. It can be quite finicky though, because the metal is very thin, so it bends very easily. So if you make a mistake or you accidentally hit it or something, you can kind of dent the metal, if you will. So you gotta be a little bit careful, and it can be a little bit finicky, especially this one, because this is a very small and very compact design. So compared to Kraken, this is a lot more finicky. But it's not that difficult. You just carefully try to put it in, and if it doesn't work, you kind of bend the metal until it does. And there are some small pieces of metal that kind of get in the way, if you will. So you can see me occasionally grabbing my Dremel tool to shave off a little bit of metal. And I got some coffee next to me because that's basically my fuel during the day for my busy life. And we're trucking along quite nicely. I'm just trying to figure out where everything goes, because these instructions are a little vague. They kind of overlap, if you will. I'm not sure if that's the correct way, but it's okay. It's still this was a relatively easy design. One of the Nanocoasters I ordered is Gwazi, the old one, so not Iron Gwazi, the one that's been RMC'd basically. And that's going to be a very complex roller coaster, because I'm not sure if it's a dueling roller coaster, but it's got a lot of track. So this one's still relatively simple, but I got a little bit of a surprise for you guys. I did the same thing for Kraken, but we'll go through there as when I fully completed this ride. So we're just going to keep going and pushing down the metal and making sure it all falls down perfectly, which can be quite a hassle. You got to kind of fidget around with the metal. So here I'm making a station, once again shaving a little bit of metal to make sure that it fits properly. Bending it into place and then putting it, and then seeing, okay, this is work. No, okay, I need to bend it a bit more. This and this and that. It's quite a nice process. I like it. It's not too hard. I think anyone can do this if you're at least a little bit handy, if you will. But the Dremel tool definitely helps, because before that I just used some nail clippers and I would install it, and you could see all those small metal pieces sticking out. So anyway, now that the roller coaster is done, we can decorate it, because normally what you would do, you have that kind of brown stuff. It's like a protectant. You normally peel it off and you get this nice sleek black plastic panel, but I think it looks very boring. That's just my personal opinion. So what I do, I actually leave it on, and then I add glue to the plateau, and then I have some very fine sand texture. It's like very fine dust that resembles sand. And therefore you're able to create kind of like this this grass ground or sand ground. And with the help of some model trees that I normally use for like trains, I'm actually cutting them down to very small pieces because, of course, this roller coaster is much smaller than, you know, the scale of that train. So yeah, I'm using that to kind of make a few trees, and there you go. That's pretty much it. The decoration is not too extensive, but you can see it kind of transforms the roller coaster where it has a little bit of theming, a little bit of grass and trees, and I really, really like that as opposed to that, you know, plain black plateau. But that's just me. So there you go. That is Cyclone. I think it looks pretty good. It's a nice little coaster here. It's a smaller of the two. And then now I can put it next to my original Cyclone and of course Kraken. And that's number 3. And trust me, I have more coming up because I really, really like these things. And yeah, that's the Cyclone build. Thank you guys very much for watching and have yourself a wonderful day.